Chapter 8. Broken Trust.
A year and a half into my employment at the Vigil estate, and 4 months after Mai and I had an encounter, the revolution led by low-born families was worsening. A lot of powerful families were targeted with or without reason. The reason for the revolutionaries' dissatisfaction was the amount of power the leading families had. During that time, Mai and I were going everywhere with Hannah. Yes, her parents felt safer sending her with us. For Mai, it made sense because she was in the police force and always carried a gun with her, smartly hidden away. As for me, I suppose they thought if we found ourselves in danger, I would throw myself in front of them, risking my life. Did they think they paid me enough to do that? Now, looking back, I don't understand how Mai managed to find time to be with Hannah with all her obligations. No one could force her or ask her to. It was her own free will. Anyway, thanks to that, I could spend more time with them and do less cleaning. The three of us developed a strong bond even though our characters were so different. 2 of them found me funny and easygoing, so they enjoyed spending time with me. Of course, they would never admit it to my face. On a summer Friday, there was a famous play coming into the town theatre, and 2 of them decided it was something worth seeing. We got ready, sat in the car, and enjoyed a short trip. It wasn't our first time going to the town together, so we didn't worry much. Love Town was a small and peaceful town, and it was considered safe. The play 3 Lions was quite boring, so I tried my best to keep them entertained. Mai was giving me the side eye, pretending she came alone, blushing. She held such behavior inappropriate in public places. They resented me for it because, as they saw it, it annoyed everyone around us. Nevertheless, I believe they enjoyed my jokes, even if they didn't want to admit it. I wasn't some immature kid, they were just overly sensitive. Which, in a way, I understand. They were still members of powerful families, and I enjoyed doing whatever I wanted. Probably I should have toned it down and listened to them. I kind of questioned their authority in public. Had it been someone else of a lower class, they would have been in trouble. Powerful families didn't hold their positions or earn respect through love, at least not the majority of them. Since they had hired a personal driver, I no longer had to drive them around, and I missed it. Finally, one of Vigil's staff members arrived to pick us up, a different driver from the one who drove us there. On our way home, the car started acting strangely before we even exited the town. The driver decided to stop and dropped us off in front of a cafe to wait while he found another car. We stood there for a while, chatting and critiquing the play we had just seen. Well, mostly I did the critiquing. I have always been a perfectionist. I feel proud of myself for managing to survive this disaster. A murderous stare came from my left, accompanied by these words, "We were lucky they didn't throw us out because of you." I think that would be better than staying there. Lady Mai, I know you're sensitive about rules, but you need to relax a bit. The show was trash, and I wasn't the only one talking. It was just now and then. That's not the point, Mai said, staying serious as my hand pointed towards the sky at a flock of mallards that were just flying overhead, their calls echoing loudly. Hannah's little hops and joy at the sight wrapped around my cold heart like a warm towel. That's not the point, she repeated in the same tone. What are you going to do? Cuff me and take me to jail? I provoked her. For whispering a few funny comments, ridiculous. She was easy to mess with, and I enjoyed it. It was hard to make her lose composure. It's not like I was trying to. Sometimes I just wanted her to leave her work persona behind. I think the play was okay. Maybe the main lead could have been better. It could have been that the main lead was sick or something. Maybe they found a replacement at the last moment, Hannah said, thinking out loud, her hands clasped behind her back. They put so much work into it. I don't think making fun of it is right. I can't listen to this nonsense. I wish it were only the main lead. I flung my arms, my eyes going to the back of my head. I'm glad Mai paid for our tickets, I said, giving her a mischievous grin. Besides, Mai, I looked her up and down, don't you know there is a dress code when you go to the theater? I had my favorite pants and an elegant pale red shirt, while Hannah was in one of her floaty dresses with a gorgeous design. We skipped the high heels, couldn't be bothered with them, but we still made an effort with our look, from top to bottom. Hannah couldn't help but laugh, looking at Mai. You see, even Lady Hannah thinks you look ridiculous. Why are you going everywhere in your work clothes? Inna, you shouldn't speak to Mai that way. It is rude. Mai, I apologize on her behalf. I can say that on you it looks quite elegant. Mai wore a black suit, black leather high boots, a thin silver necklace, and dark sunglasses. The overall style was sleek and sophisticated. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail, and she oozed confidence and power. Still, it was the same thing she wore almost every day for work. Hannah, are you saying people didn't think she came to an expensive theater in work clothes? They probably thought she was your bodyguard. Inna, she said and burst into laughter together with me. It was obvious, but she was too nice to bring it up. My work never ends, Mai said, trying to keep her composure, her hands crossed on her chest. I stepped closer, not blinking, and asked her, so then? Am I in trouble? I was bouncing on my tiptoes with my hands behind my back and a teasing smirk on my face. Mai's face was a straight line, her skin flawless. She was really one of a kind, a spectacular specimen even for the NYX family. I wish my family had that kind of uniform, Hannah mumbled during our stare-off. Even if you did, it wouldn't look so good. You're missing a few things here and there. It slipped my mouth. Mai's curves were to die for. She could pull off anything. Mai. Her expression turned to shock. She deserves to be in jail. You better get her. But a smile quickly followed. The last thread of awkwardness between us snapped completely, fully relaxing the atmosphere. The three of us couldn't stop laughing, our shoulders shaking as we tried to catch our breath. The sun was slowly starting to set behind the buildings opposite us, and the air was getting chilly. The street became empty, but our laughter still echoed. We were having a blast, reenacting the play. When I think about it now, it was weirdly peaceful. Mai's eyebrows dropped, shifting her energy, and Hannah mirrored her, their gazes fixed on something behind me, on the other side of the street. I was facing them, oblivious to what was about to happen. The edge of Mai's jacket flew out as she swiftly hunched over, and my eyes blinked shut reflexively, startled by the sharp sound. The loud sound of gunshots echoed through the street, and I didn't have time to react. My back was facing the shooter, and while they tried to protect themselves, I just stood still. Not realizing what happened, warm blood started sliding down my arm. I was totally out of it, time seemed to slow down, and I didn't know what was going on. I was lucky the bullet only grazed my right arm near my shoulder. When I tried to turn around, another shot vibrated through the air. He missed. From the corner of my eye, I saw Hannah crouching on the floor, covering her head, and Mai standing beside me, reaching for something behind her back. I quickly realized he was going to shoot again. I knew he had a minimum of 8 rounds. He could still kill us all. I should have been more careful. The whole situation looked suspicious. A new driver, a car malfunction, an empty street. I was smarter than that. I enjoyed their company a little too much and let my guard down. I didn't care about myself, but Mai and Hannah were a different story. They meant so much to me, and I couldn't let them get murdered in front of my eyes. I didn't have time to think this through. I knew at that moment, I had to use it. Are you kidding me? I have to. I knew I shouldn't. I knew everything would change. I knew they would be scared of me, and I knew I would put myself in danger. I knew I would lose everything I worked on these last few years, but I didn't think twice. Clenching my teeth, I used my power for the first time after so many years. Bring me your gun and get on the ground, I commanded. His hand lowered, and he dropped to his knees. Damn it. Why did this have to happen now? Worried to death, I turned around to check if the girls were safe. Hannah was still on the floor crying, curled up behind a big concrete planter. To my right, Mai was holding her gun, getting ready to shoot. At that split moment, she saw my eyes reflected in her sunglasses. I turned away, holding tightly to the hope she didn't notice, and took the man's gun before making him lie face down on the asphalt. Mai's voice rang out from behind me. Close your eyes and don't look at her, she warned Hannah sternly. Sometimes, I still hear this sentence echo in my head. When I turned to face them, Mai's gun was pointed directly at me, held strongly by both of her hands. She was looking down, below my knees. I knew what I could expect, but I couldn't breathe, a whole mountain on my chest. The thing I feared the most was coming true. They looked terrified. Everything is fine now. Don't be scared, we are safe now. I tried to alleviate their fears and worries while helping Hannah stand up. Don't do anything, Mai stopped me. Just walk past us and don't turn around. If you turn around, I will shoot. Everything is fine, let me explain. I stepped closer to her. Don't move, she screamed. Just do as I say. The glasses that were sliding down her nose revealed tightly closed eyes. Is she truly so scared of me? We've known each other for months, years. I think none of us could think straight at that moment. I understood them. Members of the Norse Kratos family could easily control and hurt people. Even if I don't, someone from my family could sentence them to death simply because they put the only daughter of the ruling family in danger. I guess Mai made the right decision, and I couldn't blame her. Personal space is something everyone cherishes and wants to protect. On the other hand, we had the ability to destroy it and steal it. The most precious thing we have, the mind. Once we invade it, you might never be the same again. Knowing you could be controlled by someone and possibly hurt people you love was a heavy burden to carry. I hope you now understand better why I was hiding the truth about myself. I walked slowly between them, and soon they were looking at my back while their voices got quieter with every step I took. I wanted to turn around so much, but I couldn't. I felt so devastated that I forgot my arm was bleeding heavily. I walked for 30 minutes until I reached the Vigil estate. It was a miracle I didn't faint.
Hannah! Hannah! Mai rushed and embraced her, pushing down on her legs to carefully lift her. Are you hurt? Why did Inna leave? She asked, looking in Inna's direction. Hannah, tell me if you're hurt somewhere. No, I'm not. I don't think so, she said while Mai was checking her. Why did you tell Inna to leave? Hannah, I need to take care of this. Please wait here. With shaky legs and Mai's help, Hannah sat on the planter behind which she had been hiding. After the danger subsided, people began to stream out curiously from all the streets, yards, houses, and shops. Mai clearly instructed one of them, who ran off towards a nearby telephone while she kept her eye on the shooter. She tried to stay calm and keep the situation under control until the backup arrived. Unable to sit still, Hannah approached her, worried about her favorite staff member. But why? She was bleeding. You can't let go of Hannah, she is from Norse Kratos. Were you aware of that? Mai said, her knee pressing firmly into the shooter's back as she pulled out handcuffs. I saw her eyes. No. She can't be. I would have known. She dyed her hair, and she has been doing it for a long time. It's not unusual for them. I should have realized it sooner. Hannah's eyes opened wide. Where did she go? My family. They might be in danger. Before she knew it, her legs carried her, strengthened by the sudden adrenaline. Hannah, wait! Mai jumped, her hand just barely grabbing her elbow. You can't go there. It's dangerous. Stay here with me. We will take the police car, and I will drop you off, she insisted. There's no way she went back to your home in that condition. Do you think she is dangerous? I don't think Ina is like that, she said, giving into Mai's firm hold. It's her family. I saw your parents mistreat her. Your family could face immense problems because of this. I'm not sure what is going on either. We need to think of ourselves first and stay vigilant. There might still be some revolutionaries around. A pistol made a few clicks as she checked it, and then, with heavy breath, she pulled up the shooter from the ground. I can't believe she is Norse Kratos.